Sneaker Gears, my name is Levi. Welcome to another Performance Gears episode where we're looking at the Curry 6. We're going to do a full performance review and comparison. Let's get right into it. Alright, the Curry 6 is a beautiful evolution from what the Curry 4 and the Curry 5 tried to start. It felt like Under Armour actually used the entire market as their wear testers to see how things are going before they release this guy. So the upper is actually a full knit. It doesn't look like it just because it looks like the toe is a different material, but it's just a little bit stiffer knit in the forefoot, has a nice soft knit on the top, and then finally where this orange part is all the way around is definitely a back knit that's a little bit stiffer, and you can see on the inside it does have kind of some glue on this side, but it's still a full knit that does mold to your foot really nicely. So the fit on these, you definitely can go true to size. As a wide footer, I was able to do my size 12, and on my right foot I did have a little bit of issues on the arch, and that molded in really nicely. And then on the left side, on my left foot, which is a little bit wide, I had some issues as far as, man, is this wide enough? Should I do a 12.5? And that broke in as well. So within the first 2, maybe 3 hours of play, the fit really worked nicely. I definitely wouldn't say go down half a size. Go true to size. Even for wide footers, you're going to be okay. As far as this being a one-piece upper, it does have some nice stretch. So I don't think you're going to have any issues as far as if you have a high instep or a high arch. And it's not a speed form upper. You can take the insole out. So you can remove that and put, if you do have orthotics, or if you did want to use one of our Sneaker Gears Velocity insoles, if you're looking for more cushion. Although for this setup, I think they did do it really well. All right, moving our way down to the support. This, unlike the Curry 4s, actually does have not only an internal heel cup, you have this external heel cup right here, as well as these stiffened sides. So you do really feel a nice sense of locked in. As far as this clip here, the way the foam comes up, that does add, again, an additional level of security where your foot is within the shoe. It does have kind of this power plate on the side, so it does allow the foam to compress and give, but doesn't give you any sense of instability, as you do have contortional support underneath. And overall, just really nice. Now, the way this shoe locks you in is not my preference, so I can feel or understand how some folks might not like the lockdown, because it does pull you down. It does not pull you back into the heel cup. I wish it did. That would make it so much better, at least for me. If it could pull you back in, I think you'd be money. That's the biggest area between this shoe and something like the Why Nots, where the Why Nots, when you put these on, you feel so locked in, whether you get the highs, the mids, or the Havocs, or the lows or Havoc edition. This, you're such a tight fit pulled into this shoe. The lockdown support is so crazy on this. Again, it's nice. Some people like that. So you are missing a little bit of that incredible lockdown, but overall a lot of nice support. You always feel that the shoe is protecting you, and it does a really good job. Again, unlike the Curry 4, which had no heel cups, and that Rand coming around with the fake materials really didn't give much support, and then the Curry 5s did up it where you had the anafoam upper. It just wasn't quite done well. That felt more thrown together. This feels like it was engineered properly, done well, where you have a nice balance of support, fit, and comfort, where it just works. All right, now for the piece de resistance, the hover cushioning, which is the first time it is fully exposed. In the first couple iterations in the running shoes, in the Sonic and the Phantom, it was put in a carrier. Now, and the same thing with the first basketball shoe, the Havoc, which did have hover, but it was in a carrier. Now, hover itself is supposedly very unstable and has a lot of energy return. So what they do is, you can kind of see how it looks here, and I'll get close. It has like this webbing around it, this netting. This allows them to really tune hover to feel how they want it to. So just because a shoe has hover doesn't mean it feels a certain way. There is a broad variance on how the shoe is going to feel, whether it's going to be bouncy, cushy, soft, stable. So Under Armour can really tune how they want it. And I can tell you that they did almost a perfect job on these. And the only reason I'd say it wouldn't be perfect is simply because as a bigger guy, I think I would want to try a version of hover that does have more bounce or more plushness to it. But if I'm looking for a fast playing, quick moving shoe, this is possibly the best on the market, and I'll do a full comparison after the video. This is definitely on the firmer side, but I don't want to say firm, but it is court feel. You feel fast in this shoe. When you push off, when you're doing any kind of move, when you're landing to take your shot, it is stable. It is again, on the firm side of ride where you have the court feel, you feel quick in the shoe. But because it's hover, it has amazing impact protection. So my number one shoe for last year for impact protection was the BYWX, and that's mostly because it's still Boost, but it's fully encaged. So what that does is Boost gives you great impact protection, but when it's encaged, you really don't feel any of the bounce, and it still feels very close to the ground, and you feel very quick. How they managed to have a little bit of that bounce was adding the open boost in the heel. So that gave you, when you're sprinting down the court, a little bit of propulsion. This, when you're running down the court, still has a little bit of bounce. So I don't want to say it's energy returning. You're not going to feel a ton of that, but it's just enough. And because it's fully exposed and it's all hover, it does have amazing impact protection. So my number one shoe for impact protection or for court feel before the BYWX was the Curry 4. This used Cushlon. This was really, really firm, and this is probably 7% less firm. So you're still getting everything you want in that. The Cushlon did a really good job of impact protection, even though it felt very hard. This does even better, and again, when you need it, it has that slight bit of energy return, that slight bounce. So this is such a wonderful balance, and again, for court feel, if this came out in last year, this would easily be number one court feel shoe of the year. That cushion is just a wonderful balance for anyone who wants to feel fast, but if you're a bigger guy or if you want impact protection, it's definitely covering those bases. All right, finally, and this is the part that maybe there's a lot of controversy on, is the traction. Now, I'm going to tell you right off the bat, this traction is stupid good. It is unbelievable. So my first 3 sessions playing in this shoe, I did not wipe until after I left. So that was 2 hours, an hour and a half, and an hour, and I only wiped when I left to give you an idea how good these were. Now, obviously, I was bringing shoes to compare it with, and it was blowing them all away. The compound they use on this is just ridiculous. Under Armour's really been holding out on us. Now, obviously, there's some caveats to that, and we'll get to that in a second, but it was not until probably my 5th or 6th run, and on different courts, of course, where the BYWX would have slightly more grip, and I was having to wipe these probably every 20 to 30 minutes. So just to give you the compound attraction of this is awesome. It really is. So this would be tops, except for, and I have not experienced this, thankfully. There is a lot of reports going out there. Soul Brothers has had a lot of people send pictures their way. Even another YouTuber who's part of the Wear Testers group, has had parts of the insole, right, or outsole right here, come off. And whether that's from just rubbing off from wear because it's fragile, or whether it's because the adhesive is coming off, I have not had any issues. I had the winter pair. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you can follow that. I be playing those in a few weeks. I actually went in and got these instead, and they were awesome with that. And again, I have not had any issues with these as well. So I've been fortunate enough, but I can tell you 2 things. My experience with Under Armour, and I've had 2 or 3 issues in the past, has always been nothing short of outstanding. So if you're getting the Curry 6, know while it's working, and hopefully there's a small subset of folks who are having issues, the traction is amazing. And if there is a possible issue or you do have concerns with the durability, I can tell you Under Armour stands behind the product. They will send you something out. They will give you credit. They will take care of you. Now, obviously, being in Chicago, we have a brand house. It is a little bit easier for me, but I can tell you even on the phone, in any regard, their customer service, they stand behind their products. They're going to take care of you. Far cry from my experience with happening at Nike Town and with the Jordan store, but Under Armour is going to take care of you. Even as a testimony with another pair, they actually sent him out an unreleased colorway already, which I definitely want to get a second pair of those, and they took care of him on that happening. So all these guys issuing complaints, yes, it's not something you want to run into, but I can tell you Under Armour will back it up. And I can tell you, at least from my experience, from a bigger guy, someone who's playing quick, playing hard, this has held up. It's been great. So hopefully that is a small subset of issues happening with the traction. How does this compare to everything else? Let's take a look. All right, so the Curry line has always been right up against the Kyrie line, as they've been pretty much neck and neck, as well as the Dame line from Adidas, where you have these fast court feel kind of shoes with these very quick playing guards. So as far as that goes, the Dame 5 is not out yet. That's coming out in a few weeks, so I can't do a full comparison on that. That does look to be a nice upgrade. Bounce as a whole throughout the years has not had the impact protection where I've been comfortable with, although I do want to try the Dame 5. And what I mean by that is I do feel it has a little more energy return. It feels light, but just even doing like jumping jacks, I feel that shock coming through my body. And if that's something like, if anybody's ever jumped outside or jumped up with no shoes on and you don't land quite right, you feel that shock coming up your body. That's how I feel when I wear Bounce. So it's something I will try, but I've never been very happy with it. And that's my personal experience, nothing to do with Bounce as a whole. I'm 245 pounds, and I'm putting a lot more pressure on the shoe than maybe it's meant for, or the cushioning. So that's my experience. But going back, the Curry 6 and how does it rank to the current stack of shoes? So the Curry 6 actually plays very similar to your Why Nots, meaning you have full consistent cushioning, you feel quick, it has impact protection, but the Why Not 1 actually is going to give you a lot more support. Now, I like the fluidity and the lightweight of the Curry 6, so I would choose that for a court feeling shoe, but those are very close. Nike has made a big transition in 2019 where the Why Not 2s and the Why Not 1s are big difference in shoes. And same thing if we look to the Kyrie line, its next closest competitor, the Kyrie 4 and the Kyrie 5 made some big differences as well. So it's going to be closer to the Kyrie 4, although I think the Curry 6 has surpassed this. And the Kyrie 5 is actually kind of taking the spot of where the Why Not 1 was. And I say that because you do have a very big zoom bag in the forefoot, not big in volume, it's not that thick, but it's covering your entire forefoot, so you do have a little more impact protection, a little bit more bounce, but you are losing a little bit of that court feel and that quick feelingness that you get from the Kyrie 4 and the Curry 6, which is why I like the Curry 6 a little bit better. Now, the lockdown on this and the support, again, is pulling a little bit more from that Why Not 1. So this is still a really good shoe for that person. I would actually recommend the Why Not 1s over this, but obviously as those are phasing out and not going to be available, this is somewhat taking that place. But that's not going to be the best court feel or quick playing shoe. This is more of a balanced shoe where it does have court feel, but you're still getting really good impact edge, a little bit more bounce, where it's not max cushion, but it's neither the quickest nor the most firm setup either. The Curry 6 does a better job of giving you that court feel, helping you feel quick to the ground, and just making those moves as fast as you can. So I do like the Curry 6 in that regard if you're a guard or you want a quick playing shoe over the Kyrie 5. I'll have a full review on the Kyrie 5 and let you know my thoughts on that. It's not as high, and you probably discern that a little bit from the comparison here, but for $130 on the Curry 6, you're getting a wonderful upper, really good amount of support, cushion that is fantastic for what is intended, and traction that is up there with the best. So, and again, the only issue is possible durability issues that have come up, but I can't tell you Under Armour backs their stuff up, so I have less concerns with that because I have confidence in the brand. If you guys have any questions, please shoot them down below. I can answer and help them if I can. As always, please follow us on Instagram, on Twitter. If you did order your pre-orders for your Velocity insoles, those are heading out, so you should start to see some tracking numbers, and people are getting them in hand, so I'm happy to report that. And if you are not, please look online. If you order, there is some limited inventory as we're now moving for a second production and making even more improvements. Guys, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, follow, subscribe below. And as always, really appreciate you guys, and I'll come at you later.